Hi, my name is Brittany Habert, and I will be showing you how to elevate your voice by contacting your congressional leaders. A common misconception is that you need to be here in Washington, D.C. in order to make an impact. Today, I'm going to show you different ways to contact your congressional leaders while remaining in your community. So one thing most people do not know is that unless you live in the state or the district of that congressional leader, then your message is usually not logged into their system to be addressed by their office. This means that when you think someone else will call, they might call, but they might be calling a different senator or different representative than yours. And that means the issue is not being addressed for your community. It is critical to think, if not you, then who? Your voice is extremely important for making change and alerting your senators and your representatives about what is needed in the community. To begin, the preferred way to contact your leader's office is by email or online. This means they automatically have a way to contact you to respond. If you plan to call your House representative, which is based on district, you can search online for Find My Representative and input your zip code to find out who is your representative. If you do not have a zip code, you can either use the zip code of your tribe's office or compare on a map of the districts in your state to see which representative would be closest to your home on tribal lands. For the Senate, which is based on your state, you can search online for Find My Senator. On your leader's website, you will find a contact page that will ask you for your first name, last name, mailing address, which includes your city and zip code, your email, and then your home phone. This is where after you'll put your comments to the representative. Second, there is the classic calling a congressional leader's office. I suggest making a phone script in order to have the same message for all of your calls. It is also great to have a phone script so you can get your friends and peers to also call their congressional leaders using that same message. There is always power in numbers. When calling, you should state your full name, zip code, phone number, and then why you are calling. This information is needed to properly input your issue into the office system so that it can be addressed. Let's practice.
Thank you for calling the office of Congresswoman. How may I direct your call?
Hi, my name is Brittany Habert. My zip code is 19, and my phone number is 610. I am calling today to leave a message for the representative and her staff. It is important to our community that she co-sponsor HR 5323, the Tribal Elder Care Improvement Act of 2019. Our elders are very critical to our communities and they deserve the utmost care. Hoey, thank you for your time. Have a good day. Bye-bye. See, that wasn't so bad and probably would take 5 minutes out of your day, and yet you're still making a change. A classic way to contact your representative is by writing a letter. One negative thing about writing a letter is that it takes a really long time to go through security in order to make sure there is nothing illegal or distasteful in the mail. Also, another negative is that when you're an intern or a staffer in the office, you're usually the one opening the mail, and it's usually really difficult to read if someone has handwritten a letter. If you do plan to write a letter, I would still suggest typing it out if you're able and printing it. I know that not everyone has access to a printer, so please try to write legibly if this is the way you want to contact your representatives. To properly address a letter, you would put the date in middle alignment of the page. Beneath that, in left alignment, you would write the Honorable and then the name of the representative you are contacting. If that representative is a leader of Congress, you would put that beneath the Honorable area. For example, Speaker Pelosi, you would write Speaker, and for Minority Leader McCarthy, you would write Minority Leader. Below the leadership, if applicable, you would write the location of their leadership, which is Senate or U.S. House of Representatives, their address, and then Washington, D.C., and the zip code. If you want to talk to your representative directly, then you should schedule a meeting. I commonly hear that people don't know where to start in order to schedule a meeting with their congressional leaders. It's usually very easy, and there's actually a few different ways to do it. One of the ways is that a lot of the congressional leaders have a schedule a meeting page on their website, and so you can directly put that request through that website. Another way is to contact the office to get the scheduler's email. Then you're going to directly email the scheduler the dates and times that you would need to meet with the representative. One thing that is frequently underutilized is that you can contact the district scheduler. Same process that you get the scheduler's email and directly message them, but the best part for you is that you get to stay in your community in order to meet the representative. Usually the representatives can be back in the district maybe once a month or around that time frame. So it is best to utilize that when they're ready traveling back to closer to you than trying to get like time, money, and traveling on your part to go to DC to meet them. Of course, DC is a really great place to visit, but it's always great that you can get your voice to the leaders in your own home, in your own community. You need to be able to reach out to them at any point. So there are tips for emailing a scheduler. To begin, I am going to discuss the format of your email. You will write Dear and then the first name of the office scheduler. Then you are going to introduce yourself. You're going to state your name, any affiliation you may have. I would also suggest including your age if you're a youth, because a lot of offices enjoy getting letters and information from their youth constituents, and then making sure that you include that you are a constituent, because there is priority for being in the district or state of that leader. Then you are going to write that you are trying to schedule a meeting with the representative or senator while they are in district or their state. If you are trying to invite the leader to an event, such as a tribal youth meeting, you can say something similar, such as, we are inviting the representative or senator to attend our meeting. I like to show that I have done some research before sending this email, so I make sure to include the days that I know are the district work period for that leader. So if you search up House of Representatives calendar 2020, looking at January while it was still in person, you can see that this 1 week is district work period, the week of the 20th. That means the leader is back in their district during this time. And then looking at February, you look at the week of the 17th. Using those 2 weeks, I would input that into the email saying, I see that the leader is going to be in district work period during these 2 weeks. If there is any free time, I would love to be able to schedule a meeting with the representative. Even though that email is already short and sweet, schedulers get hundreds of emails a day asking for the representative to be at meetings, briefings, etc. So I always make sure to make a bullet point list of the items that would be involved with having that meeting. For example, let's say I am hosting an event for Native youth on January 19th. The time would be 1 p.m. Mountain Time. The topic would be access for Native youth to higher education and scholarships. Time required, this is where you would say how long the representative would need to be there. So I would say 15 minutes. The social media, I can provide my social media for the event, or say if we would like to have social media from the office. So I'm going to say none requested. And then attendance, we'll say the RSVP number as of yet is 100. And then point of contact would be me. I would put my name, email, and phone number. So that would be my bullet point list. If not for an event, I would still make sure to include topic, time required, and point of contact for scheduling a meeting. Another thing I want to bring up is that most congressional leaders host their own events. That can include town halls, both phone and in person. Not sure about in person at the moment, but definitely a lot are still doing online, virtual phone call gatherings to learn about the issues in their communities. So I would definitely make sure that you keep your eyes and ears open for those events and then go and make sure that you can contribute to the conversation. So now that you know the different ways to contact your congressional leaders, let's decide what method is best for you. We are going to look at the pros and cons for each method. Beginning with online, the first pro is that it is the easiest way to get a response. The second pro is that it is the fastest way to submit multiple issues. The con, however, is that if the issue is personal to you, it is hard to get emotion out through a comment box. Second is by phone. Pro is being that you'll gain more experience verbally advocating, and then the con is that you'll rely on staff and interns to input your issue, which allows for interpretation. I remember getting calls and then quickly having to write down the message, but again, there could be shorthand, and that means that it is not the exact message that the person is saying. Third is by letter, the pro being that it doesn't require a phone service or broadband. Con, as mentioned earlier, is that it can take up to a month to get to the congressional leader. And then also con, you have to buy a stamp. Fourth is by meeting, the pro being that you can meet with the leader or one of their legislative staff. The con is that it may take over a month before you can have the meeting. Fifth is by event. The first pro is that you can learn more about the issues the leader is working on. Second pro is that it requires little coordination on your part. The con is that if a lot of people attend, you may not have time to discuss your issue. If you're passionate about making change, then I suggest applying to be an intern or fellow in your congressional leader's office. There are also other programs, such as the Native American Political Leadership Program, that support Native Americans in interning in Congress and other Native American organizations in Washington, D.C. I hope this information has been helpful and that you have learned the different ways to contact your congressional leaders. There is contacting them online, contacting them by phone, by mail, scheduling a meeting with them, and also participating in their own events. I really hope that you continue or start to elevate your voice, and thank you so much for listening in and participating. So thank you.